Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lugness Monster. Today, we're going to be reviewing the Star Wars The Black Series, C-3PO, and Super Battle Droid 2-pack. This is a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, and this is finally the official release of the Super Battle Droid, one of the most wanted Black Series figures for a long time for a lot of people, and we finally have it here in this 2-pack. Taking a look at the box here, you can see both the Super Battle Droid and C-3PO on the Battle Droid body here in the package, looking great. It is in that like red Attack of the Clones packaging. We do have the 2-pack mural artwork on the side here with C-3PO on the top and the Super Battle Droid on the bottom here. I do like how they've been doing the split 2-pack mural artworks. I think that turns out pretty well. They used to do like one mural on this side and then one on the other side, but I didn't think that was very practical, and I like them doing the split design a little bit better. Flipping around to the back, you can go ahead and pause and read it if you would like. We do have a little bit better shot and a better look at the mural here with C-3PO on the left and of course a Super Battle Droid on the right. I do like how this packaging looks. I think it came out really nice. Not much else going on for the rest of the packaging, so let's go ahead, crack them open, and take a close look at everything the set has to offer. Alrighty, so we got C-3PO and the Super Battle Droid onto the spinny stand, and these guys are looking incredible. The Super Battle Droid is absolutely stunning, obviously a brand new mold head to toe, while in C-3PO is mostly reuse with that Battle Droid body that we've seen many times before, and because of that he does suffer from a lot of the same problems that original Battle Droid does have problems with, and so we'll definitely go over a lot of those in the review here. But from first glance, these guys look really good just standing here on the spinny stand. So let's go ahead, take them off of the spinny stand, and take a close look at all the details that these figures have. Real quick though, before you get into the video, we're actually giving away this Black Series ARC Trooper 5s. It is looking incredible, sealed, pristine, and ready to ship once we hit 13,000 subscribers. Now you do have to be subbed to enter into the giveaway, so make sure you go down and hit the like button, subscribe so you don't miss out, and once we hit 13,000 subs, I will give away this ARC Trooper 5s. Anyway, on to the video. So this may be an unpopular opinion, but I've been wanting this C-3PO Battle Droid for a long time. It's been on my wish list for a while, and I'm glad we finally got it in this 2-pack, but the figure kind of sucks. The real star of this 2-pack obviously is that Super Battle Droid, and that's one that I know a lot of people have been wanting for a long time. But anyway, looking at the C-3PO figure to start, it's on that Battle Droid body, so it's got all of the standard articulation of the Battle Droid, so I won't really go over articulation for this guy, but he does have some differences. Obviously with that C-3PO head here, it looks weird. It has this like green slime on it almost, and I know the effect that they're trying to try to do from the movie. I'll throw up a photo of C-3PO. You can see he does have a little bit of a green hint to it, but the way that was executed on this figure I just don't think came out super well. It didn't really give the effect they were looking for. But looking at the actual body of the figure, you can see that they gave him almost a dark wash on the Battle Droid body, and I think it looks really dang good. Now, I don't know how necessarily accurate it is compared to the Battle Droids in the Geonosian Arena, but I do think that dark wash looks pretty good. The biggest thing about this C-3PO figure is, of course, he just has trouble standing up. If I don't drop him, he's a very hard figure to get balanced, and that's not the C-3PO's head's fault, it's the Battle Droid body. All the Battle Droids have this problem. It's almost like one of the legs is like longer than the other, but he's very hard to get balanced and to stand up. But for what this figure's supposed to be, a C-3PO head on a Battle Droid body, it gets a job done pretty well. Is it a perfect figure? Absolutely not. It definitely has its flaws, but like I said, for what it's trying to be, it does a good job of it. This Super Battle Droid, though, really knocked it out of the park in almost every category. Paint apps are amazing, articulation is incredible, the balance and the weight distribution is phenomenal. Really, they knocked it out of the park, and they really spared no expense on this figure. This is a scene-specific figure. It's specifically the Super Battle Droid that falls on C-3PO in Episode 2, and so he does have the blaster mark on the back of the figure here, but he also does have different sand and paint and weathering on the figure, and so this is probably not one you're going to want to army build, but there is a single release of the Super Battle Droid that is supposed to have a plain paint deco, so if you are wanting to army build Super Battle Droids, which I am as well, you should probably wait for the single release to do that. But looking up close at this guy, I think the weathering turned out alright. I know some people were a little bit scared of how that was going to look, but in person I think it looks really good. You can even tell it is that kind of like dot printing technique. One thing that they did on this figure though is they gave his like head just this little bit of a blue hue to it. And it's a little strange. I don't know, it's thrown me off. I know that the Super Battle Droids have this metallic look, and I think the blue hue kind of gives that metallic look a little bit. But it's just a weird blue hue to it, and I'm not sure what's up with that. And it's only on the head of the Battle Droid though, not the rest. If it was on the whole body of the figure, I think it would be really good. But they only put it on like the head of the Battle Droid, so it's just kind of strange. Now before we do jump into articulation, I do want to point out my favorite part of this figure. It's a hidden feature that they didn't show off, but the head pops off, and so does the torso of this figure to reveal this amazing sculpting detail and paint apps underneath the figure that you can't even see. This is a callback to Republic Commando. In the game, if you damage it enough, the head and the chest plate will pop off and it'll still be fighting, and this is super cool. I'm gonna have to buy an extra one of these guys just to display like this on my shelf next to my Delta Squad because of how amazing this looks. Republic Commando also just has a really special place in my heart, and so to see him do a callback to a game that's 20 years old now and not even relevant really to this figure, it's really, really nice, and I'm so glad they would do something like this. It adds so much detail, so much sculpting that really they could have got away with not doing, but it so nicely did include it. And I haven't really seen anybody talk about this yet either, but there's even sculpting on the inside of the little chest plate here, so that is really cool. No paint on this, but some nice sculpted detail in there. Now going over articulation, we're not going to do the C-3PO in this, but we will do the Super Battle Droid. Arms do go all the way around, of course, and the arms do seem to be on ball joints, so they do have a lot of, not really butterfly, but they do have, ball joint motion there. There is a swivel at the elbow, as well as, of course, a hinge that does get it to, I guess, about 90 degrees here. There is also a swivel at the wrist, and of course, a hinge. Same thing on the other arm, except this arm does have a blaster cannon on it. Nice to see that detail. Wish it would have had some paint, maybe, to give it a little bit more detail, but it does look like a really nice sculpt. He is also on a ball joint at like the waist. Not a ton of motion there, but it'll get the job done. Nothing really at like the waist down here, at like the pelvic region, I guess you could say, of the Super Battle Droid, but he does have ball joints at the hips. He also does have a swivel at the hips too, right where this little piece meets. There is a swivel. As far as the legs go, ton of articulation. He can kick up super high, and of course, he's going to be able to kick back super high as well. As far as the splits go, not a ton of motion here, but, why would you need your Super Battle Droid to get in the splits? It's beyond me. And of course, the knee does get past 90 as well. The ankles have pivots and rockers. And for a figure that's pretty top heavy, this figure is really well balanced. His legs are a little bit thicker, which is good because it kind of helps redistribute some of that weight of the top of the figure. And overall, he has really good balance. First up for comparisons, we're going to start off with C-3PO, and so on the left we have the Geonosian Battle Droid, and on the right we have the Gaming Greats Heavy Battle Droid. Both of these figures look great next to C-3PO, and they're all slightly different. The Geonosian Battle Droid on the left definitely does not have as much of a dark wash as C-3PO, and it definitely shows. And then of course the Heavy Battle Droid's a little bit more of this metallic orange, but I think all three of these guys look incredible together. Now, unfortunately, we don't have the silver C-3PO in the Black Series yet, but we do have the standard gold one on the left, and we do have the Mafex C-3PO on the right. You can tell that the Mafex C-3PO is a little bit overscaled compared to these other two, but I still think he looks really good with that metallic coat. And of course, you have to compare C-3PO to R2-D2, and so on the left we have the brand new Black Series R2-D2, and on the right we have the Mafex version. They both are pretty good looking and they both get the job done. I'm just hoping we get maybe a weathered Black Series one in the future, just so he kind of fits that Geonosian Arena vibe a little bit better. And then next we're going to pivot to the Super Battle Droid, and that's because that's where most of our comparisons today are going to come from. So first up we do have the Geonosian Battle Droid on the right and the Heavy on the left. looking great next to this Super Battle Droid. I think the proportions are really, really good, and I think the scale overall is great. Next up, with two more Battle Droid variants. On the left, we just have the standard, normal Battle Droid, looking great next to the Super Battle Droid. I really need to pick up more of these standard Battle Droids. And then on the right, we just have the Republic Commando Battle Droid. And this is another one that I think looks really good next to the Super Battle Droid. And I definitely plan on picking up a few more of those to kind of make a Republic Commando display, because I think it's looking really good. Next up, continuing with some villains, obviously we have Count Dooku on the left and Asajj Ventress on the right. These two are really killing it compared to the Super Battle Droid, and definitely gonna have to pick up a few of them just to display next to these main villains. Next up, we have General Grievous on the right and the Magna Guard on the left. Now, I know my Magna Guard is in kind of a squatting pose, but this is another one where I feel the Magna Guard is kind of underscaled. And definitely that Grievous is underscaled. Really hoping we get a new Grievous at some point. Next up is Episode 2, Anakin and Padme. Next up, we just have some random Jedi that would have fought the Battle Droids. In the Geonosian arena, we have Mace Windu, Obi-Wan, Kit Fisto, and Plo Koon. Next up, you know we have to get Delta Squad up in here. Looking great. And of course, here it is with that battle-damaged look. Really incredible. I have to get a new Super Battle Droid just for this display because it's so freaking cool. And then last but not least for comparisons, we do have the two plain white clones we have in the line. We have the Phase 2 on the left and the older Phase 1 on the right. So yeah, I'm absolutely in love with this set. I know some people might not like that C-3PO Battle Droid, but it's one I've been wanting for a long time, and this set is pretty scene specific, so it's not one you would want to army build anyway. But yeah, I'm really, really happy we got this one. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. There is some flaws, but overall, I really like it, and I think it was worth the price that I paid for it. So if you guys did enjoy, go down, hit the like button, and subscribe. Let me know down in the comments what you think of this set, because I'd love to hear your guys' feedback. But that is going to do it for this video. As soon as we get the standard release of the Super Battle Droid out, I will do a comparison. But that is going to do it for this video. Hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.